this is our closing ceremony. I wish to thank you all for being here for the last 3 days. First, I want to start by saying that we started with our opening ceremony on Thursday morning, and our keynote speaker, Mrs. Lavallee, the Chief Operations Officer of the Inter-American Development Bank, set the tone for our conference with our theme, New Times, New Approaches to Higher Education. Some of the highlights of our conference this year so far have been, we've had 3 plenary sessions which dealt with some of our sub-themes: the financing higher education, mental health, and the plenary today which talked about the Times Higher Education rankings. We had a presentation by our sponsors, Elucian and TouchNet. We also had a roundtable session on mental health by the ACU. On the first day, we also had for our members our annual general meeting. And at this year's conference, I'm pleased to report that we had 29 concurrent sessions. And I am sure you would agree that our plenary sessions as well as our concurrent sessions have been at a very high caliber. Can we get a round of applause? Yes, you could go ahead. Thank you so much for the organizing team as well as the reviewers of the papers for selecting the papers to be presented at this year's conference. We had the partnership with the ACU, which also had the cocktail reception. And if that was an introduction to our banquet tonight, well, we have something to look forward to because there was some nice dancing and entertainment at that cocktail reception. As has been customary over the last couple of years with our ACHEA conferences, we were also pleased that there were the artisans, and being an all-inclusive property, it meant that we did not have to go out for those of us who are shopaholics. I'm sure some of you appreciated that because I saw bags going home. How many of you appreciated having the artisans here? Only 1, 2? Yeah, I know. Most of you were out there picking and choosing stuff, so that again continues to be a highlight. At this year's conference, we had delegates from 11 countries. And Marvet announced it at the beginning. I'm not going to do justice like Marvet did, but I'd like to just recognize those countries from which we had delegates. And if you're in the room when I say your country's name, you could go give a little woot woot, you know. So, the Bahamas, Barbados, okay, Canada, Ghana, just yes. Right, yeah. I know it's lunchtime, but you know, and I'm not going to be very long. Kenya, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, yeah, woo! Turks and Caicos Islands, the United Kingdom, the United States of America. Ooh, that was kind of lukewarm. And, of course, the host country, Jamaica. Great. We also had some first-time attendees. And again, I want to say welcome to you and thank you for attending. And please let this not be the last time. encourage your colleagues to attend. Who are the first-time attendees here? Let's stand. Would you give them a round of applause? Great. And some of you who may not have taken out membership, now that you have seen the value of this, please speak to, where's Marjorie? Marjorie Bolero-Horton, our chair for membership, and you can discuss completing your membership form with her, as well as our chapter chairs who can introduce you to the chapters in the various countries. We only have 3 chapters right now, which are Barbados. Dr. Thomas Edward, where are you? Those of you from Barbados. From Jamaica, Lucretia, Bryden. Where's Lucretia? She's outside, she's at the membership table outside. Okay, and as well as the chapter chair from Trinidad and Tobago, Flores Fraser. Flores? Okay, so please get to know them. We really need to grow our membership, and I'm sure you all will agree that the conference was at a very, very high level, that you really got some good material to sit back and reflect on. I wish to remind you, if you haven't already done so, to complete your conference evaluation forms. These are quite useful because they help us to understand areas that we may need to improve, as well as what are some of your expectations for next conference. And another highlight for the conference, which we hope to see many of you at, which would be later this afternoon at 7 p.m., is our banquet. That is the highlight, the party for the conference. At that conference, some of you would have noticed our artwork at the front of the room. That piece of artwork, we said it in the opening ceremony, but those of you who may not have been here, this was done by a local artist. It's written up in your program. Mr., I hope I pronounced his name correctly, Nashon Morris. This will be, for this piece of artwork, there will be a Dutch auction. Does everybody know what a Dutch auction is? Okay. A Dutch auction, it's very exciting because the last person to bid gets the piece of art, but it doesn't mean that they pay all the money. So each time you bid, you are required to pay. So let's say we start the auction. If ACHEA says we're going to start the auction, and ACHEA will put $100 to start the auction, and the next person says, I want this painting for $110, you pay your $10, right? And somebody else says, I want it for $120, then they pay their $10. And so you continue to bid until people run out of money, and the last person with money in their pocket gets the painting. It's really very exciting, but we think of this also as a fundraiser, okay? It helps ACHEA to raise funds, so it's your contribution to the association, and it's fun. So I'm sure there are many of you who would really like to take this painting away this afternoon, so come with your money to bid on the painting so that you can have a chance to take it with you. We usually bid in US because it's universal, okay? But in Jamaica, if you have Jamaican dollars, we will take that as well, the equivalent. No Trinidad and Tobago dollars because it cannot be spent here, or any other currency that cannot be spent outside of their national countries. Okay, what are the next steps? Coming out of this, usually what we do, we publish the conference proceedings. Usually the presentations are posted on the ACHEA website, which is ACHEAcaribbean.org. So please, if you haven't already submitted your presentations, please submit them to the conference committee so that they can go up on the website so that everyone will have access to the material. In addition, as you know, from last year's conference, we were able to do a special journal. Now, after hearing our plenary speaker this morning, it's a little bit, some of us are considering where we publish our material and whether we should be publishing, but we still intend to look for an opportunity to publish papers for this year's conference as well. So last year we published 9 papers, and this year, again, if you would submit your papers, they would again be blind peer reviewed, and we are hoping to do another publication, and this should be an annual event coming out of ACHEA. So please send in your papers for the special journal. As I said previously, we would really like you continuing over the next year to support your local chapters. You will be hearing about events at your local chapters, and we would like you to attend and participate. Finally, well, not quite finally, our next conference for 2020, for those of you who may not already know, will be in Barbados. And we are looking forward to all of you, plus more, attending that conference. Please tell your colleagues and friends about it and invite them to attend. We will be sending out the save the date, as well as before the end of this year, we should have what the conference theme is and possibly the venue of the conference. So and the call for papers should be going out maybe by the end of November so that you can prepare and send your material in early. Finally, we would like to thank our sponsors, Elucian and TouchNet, the UWI, the University of the West Indies, the University of Technology, Fujitsu, UE Press, Mona Information Technology Services, Mrs. Casey Ann Reed Martin, Ms. Michelle Bruce, and Mrs. Beverly Hunter. So thank you all for being here and for making this conference a success. Thanks again, and please give yourselves a round of applause. You've been a really, really, really good participants.